All right. So, could you introduce yourself and explain who you are?
Okay, so I'm Bree Spirit God, and I am a psychic medium. I also make holistic hair products.
Okay. So, what makes you a psychic?
A psychic is just a person that can feel or gather information in a non-tangible way. So being connected to spirit in some aspect. So that's what makes me a psychic, because I have the ability to do that.
How long have you classified yourself as a psychic?
Ever since I was a kid, I seen dead people. And I used to have dreams of stuff that would happen before it would happen. And I never really classified it as that as a young kid because I thought it was normal. I didn't know like it was different or anything. So it wasn't until I was like a teenager that I started like learning about like witches and spiritual stuff. Like we learned about, what do they call that? The Salem witch trials in school. And that's kind of where it started at. I didn't know anything like that existed until then.
So, how was growing up with that type of stuff? Like, how everybody else around you treat you?
I guess everybody always thought I was a little weird, but I didn't really talk about it because I thought it was normal. So it wasn't until my Aunt Fanny passed away and I saw her and I told my mom and my grandma, I was like, oh, Aunt Fanny is here. And they're like, what? She's dead. Like, and then that's when my mom knew I had a gift. So she would ask me stuff like questions. And I would kind of say stuff sometimes, like tell my mom and my grandma stuff before it would happen. So I guess they just didn't really think of it as anything until I mentioned seeing my Aunt Fanny after she had already passed. So, yeah.
When you say you seen her, how did you see her?
She was just there. Just like, I mean, when you see dead people, they don't really look human. Like they don't have a human body, but they still have the human energetic blueprint of a human being, of who they were as a human, if that makes sense.
So you just seen a blueprint of them?
Yeah, so it's like, kind of like a transparent version of me and you would be essentially what it would look like.
And do you hear it, or do you just see it, or do you just feel it, or all three?
They didn't really talk to me. Like the dead people didn't really talk to me. I felt like if I actually would have wanted to talk to them, I could have. But we didn't really talk. I would just see them like walking around and see them in different places and stuff. Like everywhere. They're everywhere all the time. We just can't, a lot of people just can't see them. So yeah, I would feel them and see them, but I didn't really interact with them like that.
Yeah, and that was when you was a kid, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So how old were you when you started to actually zero in on it? And when did you realize that this is what you were going to classify yourself as?
Well, as far as what I was seeing, like classifying that started when my Aunt Fanny passed. And me having that experience with my mom and my grandmother, like then really realizing like this shit is not normal. Like you're not supposed to see dead people around. And then when I was 13 going on 14, I seen a Mexican man in the mirror. And my grandmother freaked out because she said you're not supposed to see spirits in the mirror, that it's evil. So she threw holy water everywhere and made like this big episode. And at the time, I was still a Christian. So I was like praying to God and I'm like, please take it away. I don't want to see dead people anymore. And then I kind of stopped seeing dead people for a long time after that.